Mary! Alright, I'm glad you got my messenger pigeon. I didn't know if that was going to work or not. Steve and I are still laying low right now. Still laying low. Keep it down. Just trying to figure out, you know, we're still wanted men, or maybe they've given up moving on to a bigger case. But folks, welcome to OVW Overdrive. Brian Kennison here. Steve's around here somewhere at a local undisclosed brewery. We're not going to say which one because we like this one. Folks, OVW Overdrive is going to be good this week, not just because we're in one of our favorite places in the world, but because we have incredible matches despite what the situation might be. Let's go figure this out. Folks, our first match today, you're not going, I'm coming. Freya the Slayer versus Layla Feist. I'm sorry, Carter Kaufman. Sorry, they're both brand new. I'm getting used to new faces here in OVW.
How'd you get married?
I sent a messenger pigeon. I didn't know if it was going to work, but actually.
A Facebook messenger pigeon?
No, like a literal bird with a little piece of, like, it was you open up a fortune cookie, that little piece of paper. I wrote over it, put that on the pigeon, and somehow it made it to Mary.
Hi, Mary.
So.
We doing Overdrive?
We'll talk about that. I feel like we can really break down the symbolism of what's happening here.
Oh yeah, no, it's heavy, brother. I'm gonna need you to put this on. Speaking of heavy, we need to blend in.
How is this gonna make us blend in?
Why are you asking questions, brother? Just come on. Look how much I'm blending in. Let's go.
This is an employee uniform?
Freya versus Carter Kaufman. Check it out. Come on.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Indianapolis, Indiana, Carter Kaufman!
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome in to OVW Overdrive. It's AJ McKay, right along ringside with my broadcast partner, Eric Cornish, set to go for another big week of Overdrive action.
Going to start off with some women's action.
And her opponent, from Fairbanks, Alaska, she is the Queen of the North, Freya the Slayer!
And how about that look of intensity? Freya the Slayer always brings it when she comes to the ring. And, you know, she's got a little bit of chip on her shoulders. She wants to get back to the top of the mountain where she's already been 4 times.
Absolutely. Freya the Slayer, always impressive here in Davis Arena. I say it every time I see her in action. You talk about power, you talk about strength, you talk about the intimidation that she brings to that square circle. Obviously has the size advantage over Carter Kaufman here in our opening contest tonight on Overdrive.
And of course, you know, you got to talk about the beauty too of Freya the Slayer.
You got to kind of talk about the strategy that Carter's going to implement here, and obviously giving up that size advantage and how she's going to go to battle with such a massive force.
Look at this.
Oh man,
did you see?
That
was a softball pitch. Of course, Carter Kaufman's got that softball background, an MVP of her high school team.
You know the most random facts about the most random things, but I'm here for it, Cornish.
I could tell you more. She's a daddy's girl, only child, and grew up kind of a tomboy, loving to play center field in softball. How about that?
Nice.
There you go. I know things.
Freya the Slayer in the corner with her now. Oh, double chop. Good night.
Freya always bringing the power. You got to wonder how it's going to work here with Carter Kaufman. Kaufman's got the speed. You know, playing center field, you got to have speed.
Yeah, she's going to have to stick and move. She can't go toe to toe or try to go toe to toe with Freya into the turnbuckles hard. This is never pretty. Oh, good Lord.
Carter absolutely has to get Freya to fight her fight because you're not going to match her with the power.
Oh, absolutely not. There's no way. No way whatsoever. She's Carter in a world of hurt here. Oh! Trying to fight back, though. Oh,
my goodness. You got to try to get Freya off her feet. You got to get her down to your level. With the power and the size of Freya, that's the only way you can fight her if you're Carter Kaufman at this point.
You would think that Carter would have to have some kind of a strategy going into this thing. Big forearm from Freya there, but apparently whatever she's come up with so far, it's not working.
She's going to have to think on her feet here. I asked her earlier, how do you feel when you see your name up against Freya the Slayer?
Well, at first she's going to have to get to her feet at this point.
Well, the first thing she said was excited. Second thing was nervous, and I think we've turned to nervous at this point completely.
I think we're nervous for her.
Oh, my
Another
goodness.
big splash into that corner from Freya the Slayer.
But you got to give her credit. You know, the only way you're going to get better is to face better. If you face somebody on your level, you're never going to survive. You're going to keep staying where you're staying.
No
you're never
doubt.
going to grow.
And she's fighting back here, giving it all she's got in this one. Man, though, the power of Freya the Slayer. Just too much from Carter Kaufman.
Oh, my.
Into that turnbuckle. Good night. Carter, so young, inexperienced, but to step up, to woman up, and to take on this challenge, you got you got to give it to Carter for giving it her best effort.
Every time you see that, the spine down across the knee, that just that shakes you to your core right there.
Carter struggling so hard to get back to her feet. Fans rallying behind Carter here. Freya has her tied up in the ropes. We're used to seeing that. Good night.
Clubbing forearm across the chest of young Kaufman. It's like the arm of a polar bear right across the chest there from Alaska.
Freya's got a 5 count here to break the hold, and she's, of course, a ring veteran, knows that she's got that 5 count, using every bit of it.
See this intensity. It's that chip on the shoulder I was telling you about. In case you didn't miss it, yesterday this past week on OVW Fan Zone, Freya the Slayer on there and talking about how she never got her rematch.
Oh
my
off with her head.
gosh.
That literally almost took off Carter Kaufman's head.
Never got a rematch back for that title. She's ready for it. She wants to make a statement here.
Tell you, Freya is fired up. She is giving it her all, as she always does. She's trying to get to that pay window. You get up that ladder, you get in those title contingencies. She wants her OVW Women's Championship back.
Look at Kaufman kind of trying to pull out everything she could.
Where in the world is Carter Kaufman finding the strength to fight back in this thing? Misses with that boot. Carter with a kick to the midsection.
You see the slide, kind of like the softball slide there.
Oh, now that's smart, taking Freya off her feet.
Exactly what I said. Now she's below her level. That's where you got to fight her.
Wow, look at the power of Freya. Just all of that in just a 1 count, man. Freya is so powerful, so resilient.
Oh, my goodness.
And that big pump kick to the face, and down goes Kaufman.
Look at Freya showing the intensity. When those eyes bug out like that, look out. Look out.
If this connects, it is all over.
Thumbs
Look out.
up, thumbs down. Yep, there it is.
Boom! Hard down to the canvas. In for the cover. 3. It's all she wrote.
Your winner of this match, Freya the Slayer!
It was definitely a fight for young Carter Kaufman, but not enough to beat the Queen of the North.
There's your winner, Freya the Slayer on Overdrive.
All right, that was a big win by Freya. Huge week here on Overdrive.
Speaking of huge, why did you give me the double XL pickle and you got the small pickle? I feel like this should be flipped.
It's because of your double XL pickle, Brian. It was a compliment, you see?
I know you don't mean that, but I'm going to take it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, now I'm thinking maybe speaking of welcome, maybe we welcome ourselves into the situation a little bit more. Maybe we kind of ingratiate ourselves, blend in a little bit, you know, like.
I feel like we're blending in pretty good so far.
Mary, I mean, you just play it cool. You be cool. We're going to be
You
cool.
look good, right? Look good.
Yeah, this is what employees here wear, apparently. So I guess it's more of like a protective gear for your drinks. So I'm going to snag one of these. Billboard implies authority. So it's just going to walk right in here. We own the pot. Yeah.
Just doing work.
Drinking on the job. I'm going to write that up. I'm going to.
Frank.
So disappointing. What the is Frank? Don't even know your own name. You've been drinking too much, Frank. That's a double.
Who are you?
Who am I? Corporate.
We're corporate. We got work to do.
Yeah, we are.
Gotta go. Here, you take care of this.
Cross some T's and dot some lowercase I's, and hey, we're watching you.
Oh, malty. Very good.
what I've done here. I put this water, this running water into this keg, so it looks like we're cleaning. That's something corporate would do.
This looks like a mess.
Yeah. Sometimes progress looks like a mess, and that's exactly what I'll tell anybody.
So it's the end result that we need to focus on.
Exactly. We're just raising yeast, running water. It's how you make beer.
Just blending in is what we're doing.
Mary, hey, speaking of how you make the brew, last week, what a brouhaha in OVW RISE, am I right?
That was a hell of a transition, brother. You're good at these. You're getting better every week.
I'm doing what I can. I feel inspired. Oh, there goes my picklehead. And folks, speaking of there goes my picklehead, last week, Will Austin almost lost his mind. The week before, Will Austin took on OVW Academy standout Buzz Backlund. And this newcomer, this upstart, and Buzz Backlund beat the OVW Rush Division champion. So this week...
The thing about him, he is a newcomer technically, but he doesn't feel like a newcomer. It feels like Buzz Backlund's been around for the last 45 or so years, you know what I'm saying?
I get it, and Buzz Backlund, an old but a new winner. So this week, Will Austin demanded a rematch against Buzz Backlund, the American Standard. Will Austin thought he had it, beat this man pillar to post. Buzz Backlund was in a serious situation, and then Will Austin slipped up, and Buzz Backlund able to beat the Rush Division champion for a second week in a row. Unbelievable.
You talk about slipped up. One Mr. Mick Foley must have did a little trip and fall down a couple of stairs because he looked like he was in pretty bad shape this past week on OVW RISE.
Folks, a lot of mystery surrounding that. Carson Drake, after his match, after his win, apologizes to Mick Foley, saying, I need to grow up. You know, I'm not proud of who I was. Seemingly extending the olive branch to Mick Foley. Carson Drake, Mick Foley go backstage to chat, and just a few short minutes later, Carson Drake running out to get our medical staff because Mick Foley had been laid out, busted open, bloodied on the locker room floor.
Thank God that Carson Drake is as thoughtful as he is and so quick-witted, able to get the emergency staff in there quick to get old man Mick taken care of lickety-split.
And folks, we can only speculate as to what might have happened. Mick Foley's made a lot of enemies in all his entire career, but Carson Drake has some odds with him as well. But folks, we don't know what happened. Hopefully, we're going to get more answers as we move along in the next couple weeks. But speaking of answers, we got an answer to who Layla Gray's opponent will be next week for OVW RISE, because the champ picked up a big win, and then out came the Bad Girls Club to seemingly talk down their former friend. And then Hema told her, you know what, we're better off without you. Layla Gray offended, saying, look, I brought you in, Hema. I made you who you are. I put you in the Bad Girls Club. I brought you in the company that could take you out. It is now championship versus career. Layla defending that championship, Hema defending her career next week.
You know, my mom said something very similar to me growing up. I hope it ends differently for Hema than it did for me. I almost died.
We can only hope. We can only hope. But folks, Hope got Crixus, the Scottish War Machine, all the way to that OVW Heavyweight Championship after years showing up in OVW after being a standout at the OVW Combine. Fought tooth and nail all the way to the OVW Heavyweight Championship, putting down Tony Evans.
Oh yeah, no, keep going. I'm working, brother. I
want to clarify, you have no idea what you're doing and what you're touching.
Sure I do. I work here.
I put a hose in the keg.
You do too. Yeah, no, we're going to flood the place.
The water bill is going to go up, folks, but hey, the ticket sales are going to go up because Crixus became that OVW heavyweight champion after putting down Tony Evans despite the interference from Jay De Niro at ringside. But folks, that's not the last we saw of Crixus, because at the end of the night, Crixus came out with Tony Gunn, Shira, and Luke Curtis, calling out those men in black, saying, look, we're tired of your shenanigans, we're tired of everything you're trying to pull. Let's face off mano y mano, or manos y manos. I don't know how you pluralize manos. But folks, four of OVW's best and brightest standing in the ring defending this company against the men in black. And then what would happen? There's a snake in our bed, a snake in our boots, if you will. Crixus attacking Luke Curtis, Tony Gunn, and Shear with that steel chair, seemingly aligning himself with the men in black.
Seemingly aligning himself with the men in black. You got to wonder what Crixus's mind frame is. Aligning himself with Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith, Josh Brolin. I can't see where this is headed.
I feel like you still have a tenuous grasp on what this Men in Black situation is. But folks, these mysterious figures running roughshod over OVW, now adding Crixus to their mysterious ranks. We're left with more questions than answers again somehow regarding the Men in Black, and hopefully we find something out soon, because OVW is at an absolute boiling point, and our stars want to rip those hooded men limb from limb.
Speaking of a boiling point, we need to wrap this up because one of these guys is about to blow.
Oh, we just made eye contact. Okay.
Oh, God. Stand still. It's like a Predator situation. Up next, we've got Orion versus Icon Lee. Stick around. Stay still.
If you've ever dreamed of being part of professional wrestling or sports entertainment, make that dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling. The OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
"90% of natural sleep aids don't work. Most remedies make bold claims, but never measure their real impact. Meet Sophie, the natural plant-based spray that does. Sophie isn't one size fits all. It experiments with different plant extracts to find what works for you. Paired with an app and machine learning, Sophie learns to optimize your sleep, because not all plants work the same for everyone. Sophie is as unique as you."
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Now entering his domain, the Shepherd of Sheep, Icon Lee.
Wearing the helmet to the ring. I asked him earlier, what's the deal with the helmet? He said it's so I can drown out the sounds of the sheep booing me. Well,
and I'm sorry, did he just get introduced as entering his domain? What?
And his opponent from Fort Valley, California, the Vision, Orion.
AJ, you got one of these guys who's trying to not hear. You got another one who's trying to not see. He's got a blindfold on. Orion wants us to look at it.
Neither one of these are fan favorites here in the Davis Arena, so it's going to be an interesting matchup to see who the crowd actually gets behind in this one, Eric.
Both of these guys almost like comic book villains in a way. It's like two villains squaring off against each other.
Your referee, Shane Chess, in the squared circle, keeping an eye on the action tonight. Look at the eyes of Icon Lee. I don't know if they're bloodshot from all the allergies and the allergy seasons around here, if that's just
No, that's just pure evil right
is
there.
Is that what that is? Off and running here, collar and elbow tie-up. Icon Lee in control with the side headlock. Orion, that veteran experience, quick to punch his way out of it. Gain the upper hand. Oh, man.
We've seen Orion the last few weeks here on Overdrive, more intense, getting a little more, I don't know, what is it about the face of Orion that just makes me want to punch him?
He's got a face only a mother can love.
I don't understand. It's just this disdain he has for everybody lately.
An enigma, if you will. And look at that. Fakes the kick. Icon Lee sends himself flying down to the canvas. Orion
gives him the old look at me.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, good night.
Goodness.
Springboard drop kick. No doubting the ability of Orion in that squared circle.
That was a drop kick with some intent behind it, trying to kick those red eyes right off the face of Icon Lee.
Both of these competitors, poor attitudes, but they can sure go in that ring. Look at that, flying cross body from Icon Lee in for the cover.
Nice move there.
Just a 1 count.
You could almost see the thoughts in Orion's head. How am I going to counter this?
Icon Lee tried to work on the knee there, but Orion quick to kick out, but Icon with another kick of his own. Handful of hair there. He's saying it's over. I don't know, though. Scoops him up. Orion drops behind.
Oh,
big
goodness.
Clubbing blow between those shoulder blades.
Tell you what, we're seeing a different Orion, usually so technically sound and fluid, but he's got a more aggressive style lately, that's for sure. Oh, speaking of aggressive.
Good night.
Look at that.
You got to watch those quick feet of Orion because he is so fast on his feet.
Icon Lee.
Look at this springboard.
Oh, there it is right there. Blinding lights.
Good night. That's got to be all she wrote.
Everything Icon Lee has fought for, he just fights right out of it.
1, 2, and that's all she wrote. We'll see you when we see you.
Here is your winner, Orion.
Impressive match from Orion tonight, I got to tell you.
Yeah, Orion got smart to what Icon Lee was doing. That's what 15 years in this sport will do.
Absolutely. Nevertheless, there is your winner, Orion, here on Overdrive.
I think they're on to us. Maybe it's a good time. The people that actually work here. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh, boy.
Take a little drink break. Just kind of keep. Mary.
Costume's hot, brother.
Good costume's so hot. But ATRIUM, really cooling this off here. Big win for Orion, cooling off Icon Lee. Still relatively new here in OVW, looking for that first big win. But folks, big win for us here at ATRIUM because we found some stray beers, if you will. So we're just going to hide out here. We're getting some weird looks. Big costume, not as inconspicuous as we thought. But you smell that? Is your mom here? That's a very yeasty. She's here.
Yeah, no, hers, it's the yeast, but it's also Jovan Musk. We're missing the musk.
It's like yeast mixed with sinus infections from where your mom is, and this is not that. Okay, so this is... All right.
Man, this is good.
Well, folks, stick around when we come back. Well, actually...
Did we do the interview?
Yeah, did we have an interview, Mary?
Who did it?
Who the hell? Linda K. I didn't... The K doesn't stand for Kinnison, and this is a K&J show. I didn't... Oh, I'm going to have a talk with somebody. I'm going to call Al. No, I'm not going to call Al.
I will say that I called Linda and said, hey, we're not going to be there. The interview needs to be done. And then she said, how the hell did you get my number?
I think it's a big step that she unblocked you. I think that's a big, that's a big step. Maybe the restraining order's been lifted. Folks, we're going to find out about that later on, but after we get back, we're going to find out more about the Iron Demon, Shane Mercer, apparently, because Linda's sitting there doing jobs. Stick around, don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Oh, it's so good.
Welcome to OVW.
Spine to pine, that's gotta be it. Oh my God. Whoa.
Welcome to OVW.
For the first time ever, live on pay-per-view at the Appalachian Wireless Arena. Tickets at OVWTix.com.
Hey, don't normally Brian do these? Where's
Shenanigans.
Okay.
But with Brian and Steve on the run, I have the privilege of speaking to the one, the only Shane Mercer.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks
it.
for joining us. And Shane, you're making quite a name for yourself here at OVW and a familiar face to many, being a Kentuckiana native. But tell me something we don't know about the Iron Demon.
Well, for the people that's only seen me here at OVW, I've been a lot of places, and I don't just mean Kentucky or United States. I've been in Japan, Canada, Mexico, England, and even the place you hear Al Snow talk about in Corrigan Hall. I was there last year, so I've been all over the place, really.
An international star and a risk taker. You are known to take many risks, Shane, not just to those here at Davis Arena, but to many watching online, Mr. Million and Million and Million hit superstar. Tell me, what's it feel like to be a viral sensation?
Well, at first it was kind of amazing to have that many people tune in and watch something you do, but then after a while now, because I've went viral so many times with all the crazy stuff over the years, that's kind of become the thing people have known me for if they don't know me already about what I do. They see some of the craziest stuff that you wouldn't even think exists in the ring doing this, and I've made it happen some way or another. A lot of people talk about the Sports Illustrated article with me picking up a set of bleachers or me throwing somebody off a roof onto a barbed wire trampoline or something else crazy that you can think of. I feel like I've hit the very outskirts of wrestling and what's allowed and attempted or done it.
All right, some crazy stuff we see from you, Shane. So, being here at OVW and walking down the hallways of historic Davis Arena, you're rubbing shoulders with the likes of the legends, like Al Snow, like the hardcore legend Mick Foley.
Hell, every time I see Mick Foley here, it always feels like a home feeling talking to him, because we share that background with what we did. And first thing he did a cameo, and he was talking to somebody earlier, and on the cameo, the first thing he does is stop it and tell me to come into the room because he wanted to show him my back. And if you want to take a look at it and see the scars all over my back, that can tell a little bit of a story, just like Mick Foley does with his career and life too. There's a lot of people, and I feel like only your brethren in that kind of a world, the deathmatch world, can kind of feel and establish what you've done there and how far you're willing to go in the limits with something like that. There's a lot of people that claim and they love this and they'll do anything, but how many really will do anything?
Yeah, I mean, I will say, before I even spoke a word to you, Shane, I saw your back. I'm like, I gotta find out more. Let's find directly from you. You mentioned Mick. How much of an inspiration has Mick been to you in your career?
I feel like if anything, almost anybody my age or around my age or hell, even younger probably, you'll see the Hell in a Cell footage. You'll see him getting thrown off that, and I feel like time stood still in that moment. And I don't think he even realized how many people at that moment that was just gonna twist and change the wrestling world and turn it upside down. And some it did in very drastic ways. I mean, if you even talk to Moxley, I've been in the locker room with him tons of times, he talks about that same moment too, and how it just twists people from the top of the business to the bottom of the business and everywhere in between. Those little moments affect people, and they can see a lot more about what the future holds whenever you come out to that ring and know that things like that can actually change so many people's lives.
Do you feel you've become an inspiration to many?
I hope so. In many ways, maybe not all my crazy antics, but to let anybody know that there's no limits to what you're capable of. Hell, whenever I was in high school, I weighed 140 pounds and I wanted to be a wrestler. I was made fun of, and now I am.
Absolutely.
I don't see nobody trying to make fun of me about that anymore. So.
No, I wouldn't dare. It'd be wise for those not to get in front of you and step in those shoes. I mean, being in front of you, but I will say, each and every week, I look forward to seeing something new, something else that you bring to the ring here. But do you anticipate a special moment? We talk about Hell in a Cell. We talk about you picking up the bleachers, throwing someone into barbed wire. Is there a moment that you're anticipating to happen for you that will just take you even higher than you're going?
I am a native of Kentucky. I've been here my whole life. I've wrestled almost everywhere in this entire state. But there's one place that I have not rose to the top of yet, and that's here at OVW. I feel like the moment that I get to get in that ring and get a clear shot and take what I desire since the moment I stepped here, and that being the OVW Heavyweight Championship, that is the moment that you can refer to then. Because then at that moment I can truly show everyone how far I am willing to go and just how far my opponent isn't. Whenever you see me standing tall with something that is going to stand by me and cannot ever be taken away, no matter what.
Some strong words there from the Iron Demon. You mentioned the Heavyweight Championship. What else? Tell me what else. What is next for the Iron Demon?
Anyone here that has stood in the ring with me, win or lose, I don't feel like has left the ring the same. You've seen the tough moments of the week. I feel like I've been on half of them now since they've started, just because of the crazy stuff that you've seen here or the things that have went on, and we're not nearly even touching the surface of what's going to happen yet. And it doesn't matter who is standing in the ring. I just seen one of my brothers that whenever I first came here was one of the people that kind of helped me get started here. Big Zoe, you already seen the best of 7 series with him.
Oh, yeah.
That other brother, Isaiah, has just returned. We're no strangers to each other. And whether it's in the ring together or against each other, it's always been NVD, Ninja versus Demon. And I'm sure we're going to circle right back again at some point.
Definitely. You know, you're just scratching the surface here at OVW, showing us what you can do. I can't wait to see what else you bring to the plate, Shane. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Well, thank you for having me. Let's keep it going with no limits always.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shane Mercer.
I am your father, but only every other weekend because our parents are no longer together.
Do you think we could fit in there?
Huh?
Do you think we could fit in one of these?
Oh, absolutely. Now, this is like a camping situation. You put one of these out in the woods and a little dog bed in there. I've slept in worse.
Yeah,
I've slept with worse.
You were in a garbage can recently, if I remember.
I had maggots and everything. Now, see, speaking of garbage can, I've emptied this can. It is gone now. So we're going to figure out which one of these contraptions, I believe is the technical term here, is going to give us more of this.
Whatever you do, look like you're working here while you do it.
Sure. Here's the old flow hose and tube. Yeah. So I'm going to...
Oh, God. Oh, God. I'll tell you what, before you do all that, why don't you pitch to the mains? That way we can kind of focus on the task at hand.
Folks, when we come back... I think I got some. When we come back, folks, Cal Hero defending that OVW Media Championship against Real One. You're not going to miss it. We're going back to Georgetown. You're not going to miss this huge championship match. On.
Is it going to work?
Maybe it's a clapper.
I'm almost out of beer, Brian.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow, the wrestling brand.
When pain or an injury is keeping you from the game of life, we want to help you get back to your golf game, your yoga game, to the backyard games, the home games, back to the fun and games. Pro Rehab Physical Therapy, official physical therapy provider of Bellarmine Athletics and the trusted choice for keeping you in the game.
Well, here we are at Country Boy Brewing, Georgetown, Kentucky. Hello again, everybody. It's AJ McKay. There you see my partner in crime, Eric Coronation. Apparently Enzo, the real one, has something to say.
You're supposed to say you're doing really bad. You know why? Because you're in Kentucky. The only person that's lucky is the guy who gets to leave Kentucky, and that's me. And I'll get leaving here with the Country Boy Media Championship. And I'm gonna tell you right now, one of you people is probably gonna have to drive my opponent home. That's right, because I'm gonna beat him silly. This guy's not gonna know where he's at. When he comes out here, I'm gonna sing it to him. Here comes Cal Hero. Watch him as he blows. Because Cal sucks, just like his dad who's here tonight.
What a piece of work.
And just like Joe. Joe who? Joe Mama.
I'm gonna kick his butt. Ready, boys?
Well, here he comes. Cal Hero set to do battle here at Country Boy Brewing against the real one. And of course, Cal's dad, Dave Hero, indeed is in the crowd this evening. Always around to support his son on his rise through the OVW ranks. Cal Hero really making a name for himself. I tell you, this young man has a huge future in this sport of professional wrestling. Look at the crowd. Look at the kids. They love them some Cal Hero. Cal taking his time, meeting and greeting all of his fans. I tell you, all the high fives. What a great night this has been at Country Boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Country Boy Brewing's own TH and Mason. And thank them for having us out tonight. And now for your main event, scheduled for one fall. It is for the Country Boy Brewing Media Championship. Introducing first your challenger from Hackensack, New Jersey. He is known as the Real One. And his opponent from Cedarburg, Wisconsin. He is the Country Boy Brewing OVW Media Champion, Cal.
Listen to that response from the fans with the OVW Media Champion, Cal Hero, set to go one-on-one against the Real One. Your referee is Jake Cloyd for this one. Now ready to be joined by my broadcast colleague, Eric Cornish, who's making his way to the desk here.
What a beautiful night here. Country Boy Brewing. I love the folks out here at Georgetown, man. So much fun.
What a great crowd, a fun crowd here tonight. Collar and elbow tie-up. This thing is underway, Eric.
Of course, the Real One challenged Cal Hero on the previous night at Rise. And, people coming after Cal now. Cal's made his way up the ranks. Now stars like Real One are challenging him.
An interesting dynamic, of course. Real One, a former WWE superstar, traveling the indie circuit all across the country, around the world. Been at all kinds of different promotions. Here in OVW, as you say, looking for the best competition all over the country, and he's found it, I think, right here in Cal Hero. Look at this. Fight for strength, back into the ropes. Going to get a clean break here. That flips him off. Look at that. Cal Hero with a beautiful fireman's carry, trying for a pin there.
Cal's skills have improved over the years. You just see him. He just keeps working on them all the time. First one in the gym, last one to leave. And he's learned little tricks along the way, too, just like we saw there in that reversal.
Absolutely. Both men locking up again. You would have to give the in-ring experience advantage to Real One here. But nevertheless, Cal no slouch in that squared circle. He's still, man, he trains hard. He's trained with some of the best. Look at that kip up from Real One back into that side headlock. Wow.
About even in size and strength for these two, about even in speed. I really like the matchup here. Tail of the tape, not too far off from these two.
Absolutely, both competitors evenly matched. The OVW Media Championship is on the line in this one. Shoulder tackle, down goes Cal. Enzo back into that side headlock, keeping control of the pace.
Got to thank our friends out here, not only at Country Boy Brewing, but also Dano's Seasoning, sponsoring our nationwide tour. Still on the road everywhere. Our next stop, we're going to be in Crestwood, Kentucky, coming up this very Saturday. So looking forward to seeing everybody out there.
Absolutely. Oh, man, nice arm drag. Look at those. Cal Hero in control now. Also going to be making... Whoa, look at that.
Nice move. There's the experience factor there by the Real One. He turns that arm drag right into a reverse chin lock.
Very strategic, cutting off that air supply of Cal Hero, or trying to anyway, and force that wind out of Cal, making it harder for him to breathe, having to take those deep breaths. Cal now with a wrist lock.
You got to love the demographics here. Everybody a fan of Cal Hero. The young kids, as you see there in the front row. You've got the adults. The ladies love Cal Hero. Everybody loves Cal Hero.
Absolutely. I don't know if you can see him in the background with the gentleman in the black T-shirt with his arms folded. That's Cal Hero's dad watching intently on this action tonight.
And I'm sure he can't be happy about the things that Enzo has said about him.
Oh,
not only tonight, but in the past.
Absolutely not. This real one is a real piece of work, so to speak. And I tell you, not always a fair rule, a player by the rules, I guess. That's what I'm trying to get out.
No, and a lot of people say his bark is worse than his bite. He does like to talk, but he can bite too.
Absolutely.
Well, look at that!
Oh, look at that beautiful drop kick!
Oh, and another one.
Real one back in the corner. Cal Hero looking very impressive. Oh, man.
Look at that beautiful camera shot. Got to thank Will Pro for providing the footage here tonight.
Absolutely. Oh. Man, Cal is on fire. In for the cover now. Just a 1 count, and Enzo rolls to the outside. This match continues.
To all of the loyal fans of OVW, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
OVW Media Championship on the line. We are at Country Boy Brewing tonight. Real one in control. Oh, with a leg drop down on Cal Hero, the champion.
Special coverage here of the Dano Seasonings OVW Nationwide Tour. This is one of our stops recently at Country Boy Brewing, which beautiful night out here at Country Boy.
Look at that, Enzo. Wow. Took too much time there showboating, trying to stand over the top of Cal. I don't know what he was doing, but he got a big boot to the schmaz for it.
I'm just impressed at the flexibility of Cal Hero getting his boot up there in the face.
Enzo goes for a kick. Oh, insecurity there. Cal down on that second rope and back down to the canvas.
Cal Hero, our inaugural Country Boy Brewing Media Champion, and has been the only person to hold that championship. Can the real one take it from him here?
Back into the corner. Real one whips him out. Cal hard into that turnbuckle. Good night. But I think he's making a mistake. The real one giving Cal too much time. I mean, he's down, but real one's taking way too much time. He needs to stay on top of him, Eric, and try to hit that pinfall. Isn't that the name of the game? I kind of thought that was the name of the game.
Well, I mean, it is, and he definitely, oh my goodness, he wants to hold that gold. He's never held gold here in OVW. Of course, he's held gold other places,
right.
NXT, WWE, but, he would love to say that he was a part of the tradition here at OVW, holding the gold here.
Handful of hair now, hard into that turnbuckle.
Coming right at you. Thank you, Will Pro.
Takes him over to the other turnbuckle and boom, face first right into it again. Going all the way around the ring here, Eric. Cal blocks it though. And boom, real one. It tit for tat there. Cal said, hey, eat a little bit of that turnbuckle pad.
As you hear the crowd here at Country Boy, they are getting behind Cal Hero and counting along.
And here we go. Here comes those big right hands of Cal Hero right to the noggin of Real One. Oh, man. I thought he was going to flip him over that top rope there.
It may have just been on instinct at that point, just moving out of the way, and somehow Cal catches his face on the turnbuckle on the way down.
Real One scoops him up. Oh, my word.
Oh, no.
Oh, Lord. And look at he's got only one leg. That one leg and that knee, the torque on that knee tied up in that top turnbuckle. The tree of woe here.
What's he thinking here? Real One.
Oh, man. Cal drops right down on the top of his head, too.
Wait a minute. This could be it right here. Nope.
2 count. Cal there had the wherewithal to kick out. He's close to that bottom rope, too.
So much. When you're hanging upside down in what they call the tree of woe, you've got your foot tangled up. You try to get it out. You risk hurting your ankle. Then you get out. You fall on your head. It's not a fun place to be.
That's an easy way to tear a meniscus or an ACL or MCL.
Oh, wait a minute. Could the Real One here be looking for that flying DDT he's been using?
Second rope now. He's coming. Oh, my God. Look at that super kick from Cal Hero.
Beautiful. Anticipated that move. We've seen, like we said, we've seen Real One put out people with that DDT, but Cal saw it coming.
I have no idea where he found the wherewithal to throw that out of nowhere, but man, he connected.
The fans saying, let's go Cal, trying to get him back in this match so he can retain that title.
Blocks that punch, though, that thrown punch from Real One. Blocks it again, connects to the top of the head. Cal in control here. We've seen this before, Eric.
Oh, he's feeling it, baby.
A little flip, flop, and fly from Cal Hero, if you will.
Feeling some American Dream and, maybe a little Milan Miracle in there, too. How about that?
A little bit of that Cobra in there for good measure.
Shout out OVW alumni Santino Morella.
He watches the OVWs. Cal Hero now climbing those ropes up to the second. What's he going to do here? He might be wasting too much time. He needs to capitalize on him and get him. He can't play with the fans right now and look around. And again.
Up there.
And
you called it.
See, I tell you, man.
Ginger landing there for Cal Hero.
You can't give Real One an inch or he'll take a mile for sure.
Look at that. There it is. There it is. There's that DDT. It could be all over. We might have a new media champion here at Country Boy.
2! Oh, my God. A 2 count. So close. I thought he had him.
Referee Jake Floyd right on top of it, but no. Only 2.5, maybe 2 3/4 there for the Real One.
So close. Cal Hero in trouble here, Eric. He's got to get to his feet and pull something out of the bag.
See Cal's pals here in the front row cheering him on. They want him to retain that title here tonight in Georgetown. What a beautiful night it is, by the way.
Enzo's got him up on that top rope, climbing to the second rope. What's he trying to do here? Cal with a punch to the abs. Look at that beautiful shot. Kicks him off right there. Down to the canvas goes Real One. Going to that top rope.
What's Cal thinking here? Maybe. Oh, big cross body. Wait a minute. Turning it over. This could be it.
Oh, my word. Good night.
Just got out and get what? Oh, my goodness.
Good Lord, too. So close. My word.
You could see a Real One looking at Jake Floyd like, are you kidding me? What's it going to take to put this kid away?
Move after move. Cal Hero still finds it within himself to kick his way out and hang on to that OVW Media Championship.
Looking for that DDT again, I think.
Not again.
He hits it.
Oh, Cal catches him.
Reversed it into a power bomb.
Power bomb covering Cal. Covering 1, 2, 3. That's oh my God.
I thought he had him.
I can't believe it.
Wow. Oh, Grady Peck knee out of nowhere.
2 count. 3. It's over.
Here is your winner, and still Country Boy Brewing, OVW Media Champion, Cal Hero.
What a great match here at Country Boy Brewing. Cal Hero, the Real One, man. So close. So many close pivot hits tonight, Cornish. I was nervous.
I tell you what, I was too, so close. But there is your winner, still the OVW Media Champion here at Country Boy Brewing, the place that puts their name on that title. It couldn't be more fitting.
There is your OVW Media Champion, and still, it's Cal Hero.
shaking as hard as I can.
Well, hurry, shake harder. I've seen you shake harder.
Okay. What a big win for Cal Hero, folks. Holding down to that Country Boy Brewing OVW Media Championship after a game competitor like real one. That just shows you the kind of champion Cal Hero is growing into. And folks, we're trying to grow into champions of our own, of both hide and seek and of being model brewery employees. Because I feel like we're not blending in. This pickle thing was a stupid idea.
I feel as comfortable as I've ever felt. I will tell you that.
You're warty and phallic. Yeah, this is your natural. This is where you. Yeah. Anyway, folks, speaking of warty and phallic, we will be back next week with more OVW Overdrive. We'll see you next Tuesday, and we're gonna.
I love the employee discount, but we can't figure out the damn keg. See, I figured I've been drinking since I was 8 years old, so this seems natural to me, but we're not.
Let's call a spade a spade. You've been drinking before you were when your mom was pregnant. She'd go to the bar like, give me a double, I'm drinking for 2. You have been going at it for quite some time. Half of your blood should be alcohol at this point. Or more than that. Still good.
No.